Hey Gemini, Happy New Year. I hope that this finds you well and you are ready to have your mind just blown open. There's so much in the astrology and in the cards here that really suggests there is a lot that is being unearthed and exhumed, and I really do get this beautiful spiritual awakening that is happening for you. We've also had Mars retrograde in your sign since the end of October, and with it going direct on January 12th, there is some forward-moving momentum this month as well. Even though the first part of this month we are still kind of in the retrograde season, we have Mercury and Uranus retrograde as well, but they will also be going direct on the 18th and 22nd respectively. Before we get too far into your reading, make sure you hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards and stars for you. For those of you who are ready for a more personal, in-depth look into 2023, you can actually get 30% off any astrology reading on my website using the code in the stars through January 14th. You can find all of my links in the description box down below, including my services, astrology blog, and social media accounts. So you're kind of getting a double whammy of these retrograde energies, Gemini, because we have Mars retrograde in your sign, and Mercury, which is your ruling planet, is also retrograde in the sign of Capricorn. So there's a lot of focus on things that have been hidden or things that you may not always feel comfortable talking about, because for you, Capricorn energy can really represent taboo. It can represent death, rebirth, magic, sexuality. And it can also represent joint finances as well. Basically anything that you're supposed to keep hush-hush or very often is considered taboo. I feel like there's a lot of exploration in those areas of your life this month. You're kind of going through your closet. And it's really interesting because we do have the vulture and the cosmic egg coming out together. And when I see the vulture, it's like there is this major cleansing that is happening. Vultures really do signify finding new beginnings and endings. And I really kind of get that feeling for January overall, to be honest, because even though we are in the new year, we aren't really catapulting into it until the end of the month when we have Uranus going direct, we have the new moon in Aquarius. That's when things really get electrified. It feels like until then we're kind of in this slower energy, and it could be a little bit frustrating. And so I feel like there's a lot of purification that's happening. It's almost like we're tying up loose ends. And Vulture, again, really is just this master of finding life and sustenance in things that have ended. And I feel like you are truly moving on from things this month. And you have the cosmic egg here as well, which is just one of many cards and components to this reading where I really do feel like you are having spiritual epiphanies or downloads, you are understanding things, you are just having these revelations, and honestly, it's like this flash of interconnectedness or truth. And while all of this sounds beautiful and lofty, there is also an adjustment that is happening here that is very real too. We do have the Four of Cups that came out in the past influence. And so I feel like there's been a silver lining or a truth that you haven't really been acknowledging or taking to heart, Gemini. And I think that could even be involving some sort of secret or something. It's almost like you haven't allowed yourself to really know or go there. This could also be involving a relationship too, because we do have the Three of Swords here as well. There could have been an ending to a relationship, especially around Sagittarius season when there was a lot of focus on relationships for you, or something that was shifting there. But I really feel like whatever is causing you to feel this sort of emotional intensity, I think it's important to remember that this is temporary. And I almost see you coming into this from a more observer or observational perspective with the Hanged Man. And I really do feel like this month, you're seeing things from a new perspective. And it feels like you're realizing spiritual truths. Because sometimes you can understand certain concepts, sometimes you can know what is good or what's healthy, or you can know the potential meanings or lessons you can extract from a situation, but it doesn't mean that you feel it in your body. And I think there is definitely some things that are ending and things that you are closing out. There could also be changes with your finances this month as well, especially with the full moon in Cancer on January 6th. There could be some sort of culmination or ending, or some sort of shift that is even making you change your values or reassess your values. And I really do get the sense, like, even though there might be some challenging energies, again, you have the Ace of Swords. And this is also followed by the Page of Swords for the future. Both of these cards really do feel like there is this epiphany, there is this realization, and you are finally able to put something to words as the Page of Swords. And it all makes sense. And I think where this is all really starting to happen, I think Mercury going direct on the 18th, this could be a time where there is a truth that is revealed. And to be honest, this truth might be a bit painful, or it might be a bit, it cuts you to your core. It is a very penetrating truth. And I know some of you heard that and you were like kind of giggling, maybe with like the sexual connotation, but actually, there might be something about sexuality that you are exploring. That is also the same day that the sun and Pluto are coming together in the sign of Capricorn as well. And so there really is just this big revelation. There is this truth that is almost being dropped. And it could be you. It could be someone else. It could just be like everyone is kind of playing their hand, and there are a lot of truths all around that are being revealed. But I do feel like you are speaking to something as this Page or Daughter of Swords. And then we have the new moon in Aquarius, the day after we enter Aquarius season. And this is happening on the 21st. And with this new moon in Aquarius, it really does signify new ways of understanding. And your worldview is perhaps changing, or maybe there are opportunities for travel or learning, especially with higher education or spirituality. You are becoming a student. And with Uranus going direct in the sign of Taurus, again, there are major things happening in your subconscious mind that are being revealed to you, or things that have been hidden that are being revealed to you. So let's really clarify all of this energy, because this is kind of abstract. What is it exactly that is being revealed to Gemini? I think in part just things that are no longer working, or what you need to transform or integrate here. It's like there's almost this thing that you haven't really allowed yourself to digest. What is going on for Gemini? What is going on for Gemini? Wow, okay, death. Yeah, there really are major endings. And I think, especially being in Capricorn season, this just isn't surprising, because there very often are endings that are associated in this season for you. I think you're just letting things go. You are surrendering things. And I think especially with Venus coming together with Pluto the same day that Mercury goes direct on the 18th, that is just this time where it's like, I have to let this go. And it's almost like you've kept yourself in some sort of pain or some sort of depression. And it's like, I almost get this energy of like, sometimes when you break up with someone or you end a connection with someone, it's like you don't realize until it's been a while that you haven't really opened your heart to someone new, and you've actually there's part of you that's been holding on to something, and I feel like that's part of this shift. But ultimately, I feel like this is really helping you come into a state of health with Vulture. Because even though this can look like a dark and ominous energy, vultures do play a very essential role in ecosystems. They prevent the spread of disease. They make use of what is decaying. So I do feel like there is ultimately something beneficial here, even if it's not necessarily very pleasant or comfortable right away. But ironically, you've almost kept yourself in this energy. We have the Son of Cups. Yeah, this really could be talking about romance, or something regarding your intuition or emotions. And I'm just looking at that kind of intensity that the Son of Cups or Knight of Cups is carrying. And I really think, looking at the 29th, for me specifically, there's a few things that are happening that day. We have the sun forming a trine or harmonizing with Mars in your sign, and I feel like this is bringing some healing after sort of a rough patch that you've been in since the end of October, especially with your sense of identity and maybe your belief systems. We do also have Mercury in Capricorn also forming a trine with Uranus in Taurus. And again, both of these really do read as like making these connections, understanding things on a very deep level. You are very, very intuitive this month, I will say too. And you might even be having like visionary experiences with the cosmic egg. And it's almost like you're understanding why things didn't work out. And that's bringing you a lot of healing, Gemini. You're understanding why certain relationships or situations didn't work out, or there's some sort of calling or direction that is lifting you out of this heavier energy, and you will later understand why things happened the way they happened. I really do get the sense of like a breakup or some sort of betrayal with the Three of Swords here, if I'm just being honest. I don't think this is something that is happening this month, though. It feels like this is something that has already taken place. And it might have even been a while ago, actually. What else is happening for Gemini this month? We have the Three of Pentacles building towards something, working towards something. Yeah, I feel like there is a forward moving energy here. So again, it's not like all is lost here. And I think you might even be collaborating or working with other people, although this feels like maybe more of a future energy for February. I could see something about you working together with people or coming together or like preparing to climb the mountain and realizing you have what you need. Anything else for Gemini? Ace of Cups. Love to see that. So I do feel like there could be a new relationship that is coming in for you, that I think is something that will be more, again, like kind of in the future, but I feel like part of this healing, right now, this is more about self-love and healing. Anything else for Gemini? I feel like you're feeling like yourself again, or maybe for the first time in a long time, or maybe the first time ever with the Knight of Swords. This is one of your cards. And I feel like you are making connections and then you are acting. You're moving very quickly, and it's like where the energy may have felt slow or even stagnant with the Hanged Man in the past, this perspective shift, accepting a truth, accepting a loss, is actually helping you move very quickly. Is there anything else? Any other messages for Gemini? Any other messages for Gemini? Show us clearly, please. I want to pull one more animal card for you. That's what's feeling right. What are the messages for Gemini? What are the messages for Gemini? Okay, so we do have the hyena here. And I feel like some of you may have been like hiding behind laughter, or someone around you is hiding behind laughter. When I see the hyena, it's like there's almost this like disingenuous energy, but it's not even necessarily deceptive. It's almost like being afraid to address something or being afraid to speak to something. And it's like, I feel like with this energy, with the hyena, there might even be something that's been super important to you, Gemini, that you minimize because you were afraid to share something that was really important, either with the people who are close to you or even with the world at large. Because it's like if you failed at that thing, or if you, you know, it showed that vulnerability or shown that vulnerability, it's almost like unappealing in some way, or scary in some way. I feel like there's something that like you haven't really allowed yourself to fully embrace. And this feels more about your purpose. This feels more about what feels aligned for your soul and for your spirit. And with Mars going direct in your sign, you're going to have a lot of momentum towards the second half of this month. And I feel like you are getting your energy back. Anything else? Anything else? I'll do one more animal card here. We do have the Scorpion. And, you know, there is a lot of scorpionic energy that's kind of playing out right now because we are in Capricorn season, which is your 8th house, which is the natural house of Scorpio. So there is like death, there is rebirth. Scorpion energy can be very fun, very feisty, but it can also be like kind of a pointed energy. And so it's like, I think there's just something that you need to air out so you can come back to this very excited or natural energy to you. There might be some sort of exchange. There might be something that someone says, some sort of remark or comment. And it's like that person is showing their true colors. And even though that's hurtful and painful in the moment, it's only going to serve you in the long run. I actually do feel like I need to pull another oracle card for you. That's interesting. What else do we have here? Oops. I can't find that deck. Oh, here it is. I also just want to say too, like with Mercury retrograde in Capricorn right now, I would avoid making any form of investment or having any sort of contract with someone, especially like financial in nature. That just feels like something that's important for some of you to hear. Very often when we have these retrograde planets, especially Mercury, but also like Mars too, they really do affect our daily lives. And these energies can bring out some sort of disruption as well. And maybe that's kind of like this thing that strikes unexpectedly. Something from the fine print or something that was kind of happening behind the scenes is being revealed, and that would probably happen around the 18th. Wow. Okay, so the message I have for you from the Starseed Oracle: you're not for everyone. And the message here is embrace your weirdness, face your true north. And I really do feel like that's kind of that energy I was talking about. It's like you're realizing who is really supporting you. There might be people who are disingenuous, and like not everyone is meant for you, and that's okay. And I feel like some of you have been trying to hold on hope, or hold on to relationships or things from the past. And it really is just time to let go. And you actually find a lot of freedom in that. And you find a lot of freedom in just embracing who you are, and being authentic. Anyways, Gemini, those are all the messages I have for you this month. I do hope that this was helpful. Be sure to hit like and subscribe. Comment down below what is being revealed to you this month. It feels like there's just this major thing, and it's causing this almost epiphany or enlightenment. And it seems like it's actually affecting you, and it's ironically helping you come into your light. You're not letting yourself be defeated. So definitely let me know what's going on for you. You're welcome to check out any of the other videos, maybe for your moon or rising sign, and I will see you all next time. Take care.